Recently, an American company named Croso Biosciences Biotechnology Company top search again because the company announced they managed to breed 3 dire wolves and released a video of the 3 terrifying wolf pups. Video display. 3 cubs are all snow white. Looks like a pup of a dog or wolf. The company has 2 of the 6-month-old cubs, named Romulus, Remus, another even smaller Khaleesi. 3 names are taken from Game of Thrones. The purpose is to pay tribute to this hit drama. The reason why it is said to be on the hot search again. The company has just announced that it has developed, due to not long ago, mice with mammoth characteristics, and it has attracted worldwide attention. The company's ambitious goals is to resurrect the mammoth in 2028. Kongling went extinct around 12,500 years ago. Now the company's scientists use genetic engineering, show them to the world as living creatures, and called it the world's first subtrue species, resurrection. But I'm afraid the word resurrection is a bit heavy. Why do you say so? Want to answer this question? So let's see. See how Croso grew the porch. It is reported that the company's team, from a 13,000-year-old portico tooth and a 72,000-year-old skull, DNA sample was extracted. The DNA sample was compared to the wolf, the dire wolf's extant relative, fox wolf. Comparison of genomes of canines such as foxes. 20 of the 14 key genes were identified. The differences that determine the characteristics of the dire wolf. These characteristics include a larger body size, white hair, bigger teeth, and a unique way to howl. Then the team, from the blood of the gray wolf closest to Kong wolf, extract cells, adopting gene editing technology, modify these 20 key genes, make its DNA sequence consistent with the pore capsule. Due to the presence of DNA in the nucleus, scientists will be edited. The nucleus of the passing cell is extracted, implant it, remove the nucleus of the gray sac egg cell, make it develop into an embryo. Embryos are implanted into the uterus to develop in formaldehyde. The final 3 surrogate dogs successfully gave birth to 3 white wolf pups. The red wolf lived at the end of the last ice age, although its hair color is still inconclusive. But it is generally believed that in order to adapt to cold environments, they might. It does have traits similar to the Arctic wolf, such as white hair. It looks like the results of Croso. It does match this characteristic of the dire wolf. However, regardless of the creatures that are bred, how close is it to a real dire wolf? It can't be directly called a dire wolf. First, the organism's genes. There's no guarantee that they're genetically identical. The DNA in fossils degrades over time, become fragmented. Therefore, what the scientists extracted were just fragments. It's not the whole genome. Missing part, needed by speculation or with near metaspecies. For example, the genes of the gray wolf are compared to fill-in. There will be errors here. Genetic differences in terms of gene expression. Lose a tiny bit, 1,000 miles away. People and chimpanzees, 99% genetic similarity. 1% difference, makes light in appearance. There are 2 very different creatures. And even if the genetic sequence is replicated precisely, due to the environment in which Korong lives, very different from the modern environment. How are their genes expressed in the riverside environment? Follow. There are differences in expression in modern contexts. And this difference, it cannot be reproduced through simple gene editing and the edited nucleus. Put it in the enucleated soft cells of the gray wolf. When growing embryos, introduced linear stereo DNA from gray wolf cytoplasm. Although linear stereoscopic DNA, it's a tiny fraction of biological DNA, and it doesn't directly determine physical characteristics, but his ability to treat animals, efficiency, endurance, muscle function, and the ability to adapt to the environment has a significant impact. The real Holsack lived in the Riverside era. Its linear 3-dimensional DNA may have been selected through natural selection, adapted to cold climates, adapted to the current environment,